All right, moving on. U.S. President Donald Trump returned from Beijing claiming success. But behind the handshakes and photographs, there was little tangible progress. China stood its ground on key geopolitical and economic issues. And now the fallout is becoming more prominent. From Taiwan to missile deployments near China's doorstep, Donald Trump appears to be turning up the heat on Beijing. While at the same time, China and Russia are openly pushing back against what they call is Washington's growing military aggression. Just days after his high-stakes visit to China and in a major shift from long-standing U.S. practice, Trump said that he could speak directly with Taiwanese leader Lai Ching-te while considering a possible American arms package for Taiwan. Now, this comment marks a significant escalation because, remember, the American presidents earlier have avoided direct communication with Taiwanese leaders since 1979, when Washington cut off formal diplomatic ties with Taipei and recognized Beijing.
Do you have any plans to call President Lai of Taiwan before you make a decision on the weapons package?
Well, I'll speak to him. I speak to everybody. We have that situation very well in hand. We had a great meeting with President Xi. It was amazing, actually. It was amazing. Many of you were there. We'll work on the Taiwan problem.
Well, Beijing has responded immediately to this. China's foreign ministry said that it firmly opposes any official contact between the United States and Taiwan.
China firmly opposes official exchanges between the United States and China's Taiwan region and resolutely opposes U.S. arms sales to the island. The United States should stop sending wrong signals to Taiwan separatist forces and take concrete actions to maintain peace and stability.
Remember, China continues to claim Taiwan as its own territory, and it has repeatedly said that it could use force to take control of the island if necessary. Donald Trump has been reviewing a reported $14 billion arms package for Taiwan as well. That could include air defense missile systems and anti-drone technology. So what will China do next? Well, a Pentagon official's China visit is reportedly in doubt now over the Taiwan arms package, and China has responded with displays of military force when the U.S. engaged with Taiwan in the past. In 2022, when Nancy Pelosi, the then Speaker of the U.S. House, visited Taiwan, Beijing had responded by launching 11 ballistic missiles into the waters around Taiwanese coasts. Could the call between Trump and the Taiwan president trigger a similar response? That's the big question. But at the same time, remember, Washington has been expanding its military presence in the region. The United States will reportedly deploy Typhoon mid-range missile launchers and HIMARS rocket systems to Kanoya Air Base in Japan's Kagoshima prefecture. During an upcoming military exercise between June and September is when this is expected. Now, the Typhoon system can fire Tomahawk cruise missiles with a range of around 1,600 kilometers, as well as SM-6 interceptor missiles with a range exceeding 300 kilometers. While HIMARS rocket system is a robust deep strike deterrent, and it can reach targets up to 400 kilometers away. Its shoot and scoot capability allows it to fire and rapidly relocate before enemy counterfire can target it. After the exercises, the missile systems will reportedly remain stationed at a U.S. base in Japan. The deployment is widely being viewed as a strategic warning to China. At the same time, China and Russia have jointly criticized Donald Trump's Golden Dome missile defense plan as well. Following the summit between Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, both countries had accused Washington of threatening global strategic stability through Trump's proposed ground and space-based missile shield. So just days after Trump's Beijing visit, tensions between Washington and Beijing appear to be escalating now on multiple fronts: diplomatically, militarily, and strategically. All right, let's get to other news now. Britain's Brexit battle is threatening to return to the centre of its politics, just as Prime Minister Keir Starmer faces growing pressure inside his own party, with several Labour MPs distancing themselves from Starmer and questions rising over his political future. A fresh debate has reportedly erupted over whether Britain could one day head back into the European Union, and more importantly, what price London would have to pay for that return. Because remember, Brussels has reportedly made one thing very clear. If Britain ever wants to rejoin the European Union, there will be no special treatment this time around. The UK could reportedly have to pay as much as $6.67 billion more every year than it did before Brexit for membership. And it is likely that Britain would reportedly lose a rebate negotiated by former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher in 1984. That rebate had reduced Britain's contribution to the EU budget by billions annually. In 2019, the last full year before Brexit, the UK received a rebate worth nearly $6 billion. Without it, experts say Britain's yearly payments to Brussels could rise sharply. The European Parliament President, Roberta Metsola, has said that the EU's door, quote, remains open to Britain, but European officials are also reportedly signalling that London should not expect the opt-outs and privileges that it once enjoyed as an EU member. Before Brexit, Britain had exemptions from joining the euro currency, the Schengen passport-free zone, and parts of EU asylum policy. Experts say that any future attempt to rejoin the bloc would come with stricter conditions and far fewer concessions. The debate has intensified after senior Labour figures like Wes Streeting, the former health secretary, said that Britain's long-term future still lies with Europe. Keir Starmer has reportedly said that a national debate on rejoining the European Union could happen years down the line, even as pressure over Brexit continues to rise, at least within his own party members.
We've all said in the UK Labour Party, certainly in the government, we've been saying that Brexit has delivered enormous problems for the UK economy. I'm absolutely certain that a Labour government under Keir Starmer or whoever it may be by the end of that time will want to have a much stronger relationship with the European Union, because it's just about the facts of life.
Brussels is preparing for a UK-EU summit in July this year, where both sides are expected to discuss defence cooperation, trade, illegal immigration and support for Ukraine. But the message from Europe perhaps appears to be firm. Reversing Brexit would come with a very heavy financial and political cost for the UK. Two leaders met, both of them played along and broke the internet with their Melody Toffee video. Rome had never seen diplomacy quite like this, and a gift from an Indian Prime Minister never included a toffee packet. When Narendra Modi and Giorgia Meloni met in Rome, you had the usual bilateral meetings, except nothing about Melody is ever standard. Quickly take a look at this video before I go further.
Prime Minister Modi brought us a gift, a very, very good toffee.
So the internet lost its mind over this. Photographs raked up more than 2.2 million Instagram likes in just 2 hours. Users flooded platforms with edits, memes and fan-style posts. In fact, some even demanded a Bollywood song be played. But here's where it gets truly delicious. India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal said that India's toffee tale would surely be a melody to the ears, and that the numbers back him up. India's confectionery exports have surged nearly 166% since 2013-14. Remember, this is not a small jump. It's a massive transformation. Indian sweets and candies are reaching kitchens and shelves around the world. From West Asia to Europe, demand has been rising, and it has now risen further after this particular viral video. Piyush Goyal credited the focused policy, better packaging and improved quality standards for this growth. The government has been pushing the food processing sector hard as well, and it is paying off as Indian exporters have stepped up. Analysts say that confectionery could be one of the big beneficiaries of Prime Minister Modi's Italy trip. Because remember, India is not just a market anymore. It is a supplier, a competitor, and a global player. From diplomatic handshakes to toffee wrappers on foreign shelves, it seems like India's footprint may well be expanding much further. But amid all of this, India's opposition parties have mocked the Melody gift, quite contrary to public opinion and the market sentiment. Leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, hit out at the Prime Minister, saying that he's ignoring an ongoing oil crisis and other issues that plague citizens and the country, and is instead handing over toffees to foreign leaders. Well, while the debate still rages on, whether it was right or wrong, Indian confectionery is clearly having the last laugh, one melody at a time.